All right. The story, yes, I will tell it now. So, how many of you like baseball? All right. Well, you don't have to like baseball to hear this story. Some people will like baseball, some people don't. This is really not exactly a story about baseball, though it has a lot to do with baseball, actually. Okay. So, the story I want to tell is about the time that I went with my daughters and my brother to the Giants Fan Fest. And so for those of you not familiar with the Giants Fan Fest, the Giants are a baseball team here in San Francisco. And every year, and before the season starts, they invite everybody to come over to the stadium and hang out with them. And they'll sign signatures on baseballs and memorabilia, and you can meet them. There's no actual baseball that takes place there, but it takes place in the baseball park, which used to be called AT&T Park, and I understand they're going to change the name to Oracle. But anyway, so we went there. My daughters wanted to go. I wasn't really interested in it per se originally, and I'd never been, but one of my daughters had been. But we went to the Fan Fest with the idea that we would be able to meet some players and get signatures. And so we got to the park a little late because when my one daughter had a swim team that day. And we got there and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. You got in for free, which was really great because normally you have to pay to be in the stadium. And we waited, started to wait in these, they had these long, long, long lines that you had to wait in. And in the lines, they seem to be moving slow, and I assume my daughters wouldn't want to wait in this line that long, but actually they were fine with it. Then somebody said, you know, this line you're in right now is a regular line. They have a kids line that moves faster because then if you go in the kids line, it moves faster because the kids are the only ones that meet the celebrity. So I said, fine, let's do that. So we go and we're waiting in the kids line. And the line is moving fairly slowly. And in fact, we stayed in the line for about 3 hours. And at any moment, I thought that my daughters would want to bail on the whole process, but they didn't. They stuck with it, which was great. I also thought that my brother would want to bail. He didn't. What was great about having all these different people is if one group of person wanted to go to the bathroom, they could hold the place for the other folks could hold the place for them, which was fantastic because what it meant was that we didn't have that awkwardness of having to ask somebody you don't know to hold your place. So anyway, we're waiting in line, and at 3 hours pass, and we're not really sure who we're going to be meeting at the end of this line. There's going to be some famous person from the Giants that's going to be there, but we just don't know who that person is going to really be. So we're waiting, and all of a sudden we hear cheering at the front of the line, and we're thinking, why is everybody cheering? What is all this cheering about? And we found out that it was because Buster Posey was at the front of the line. So we're pretty excited about that because for those of you that don't know, Buster Posey is one of the most famous baseball players of all time. And, you know, so he's a really good catcher, really good hitter. He's just a great guy all around. So we were really excited. We waited in line for quite a while. And then we were almost to the front when this variety of security guards started coming by and saying, you know, oh, I'm sorry, FanFest is about to close. You're probably not going to be able to get the signature. And so we were really, all of a sudden, we were really upset, and the kids started crying, and we'd waited so long. And so we thought, okay, well, maybe we can't get Buster Posey's signature, but if we just stay in line, we will be able to see someone else get his signature. So we'll stay in line just for that. And a variety of security guards and ushers came by and kind of discouraged us from staying in line, but we did it anyway. We just decided to stay in line, and then what happened was that we noticed we were getting closer and closer and closer. Of course, it's getting closer and closer to closing time, and in fact, it's past closing time to a certain extent at this point. And then we had basically given up, and we were getting ready to walk away, and this older gentleman comes by who was an usher there and had worked for the Giants for a long time, and he looked at us and said, "Would you guys like to meet the Buster Posey?" And we're like, yeah. And so he said, okay, you kids, and you'll be the last ones for today. And so he opened up the little chain there, and we went in, and we ran to the front, and we got Buster Posey's signature. He signed everything, the balls, the mitts, some Hello Kitty stuff. It was awesome. And what I learned from that is to never give up, because you just never know exactly what's going to happen. And I also noticed that it was great having other people there, because then if you want someone to hold your place in line while you go to the bathroom, hey, they can do that. So that was my 2 takeaways from that experience at the San Francisco Giants Fan Fest. Thank you.